Hey everybody, so today I make you laugh when I do that, don't I?
Always. Always.
Hey everybody. Today we decided to do something a little different, and with that said, I'm going to turn it over to my interior decorator, also known as my wife, also known as Stephanie, also
AKA.
yeah, there'd be lots of AKAs.
You sweetheart.
So, without further ado, take it away.
So, it is spring. Summer's right around the corner. Today is an ugly, rainy day, and apparently we got a couple of those in a row coming. So, it is time to take one of my rooms, probably the only room I can do something with anytime I want to, and take it from fall and winter right into spring and summer. That's what we're gonna do today. So if you haven't guessed yet, we're in the guest room. And I painted this guest room neutral for a reason. It's like antique white and cream and then white. And so that I can change it out with any colors I want. I have so many colors in my vocabulary that I use for this room in particular. So we're going from everything that was curated, that was fall and masculine. That was the vibe for this room. Let me know if I nailed it or not. But I really wanted to change it up because I'd love this room to be feminine. But fall and winter, I thought it's got to go all masculine. And my jumping point was the bedspread, which is a tried and true bedspread. Of course, we've had this for 18 years, probably.
At least.
Yeah. And then I'm just going around the house, as I do, in a scavenger hunt manner and pulling anything that struck my fancy for this room in particular. Then we'll have to do the exact same thing when we change it completely out. Out with the bedding, out with any of the heavy masculine undertones, and in with the spring, the flowers, the floral. I usually make a list, and in my list, I headed it out with I headed my list off with what's in my head. So I started this notebook off with what's in my head, and I start writing things down that don't make any sense to anybody else who would pick this notebook up except for me. And this is what it looks like.
She speaks Steph-N-Lee's, if you please.
Like random words that I know what I'm talking about. I just have words like feminine, creams, pinks, summer, hurricane lamps, doilies, pastels, Victorian, children's books, sewing, with quotations around it. I had to do that as I'm reading. That's what it looks like. Soft Victorian, teapot, tea set. Remember those? They're here somewhere. They're under the bed. They're in the storage unit. They're somewhere. Marbles, dogs and girls. I love like little girl dog themes. If you didn't know that about me, you will when I have this room set for spring and summer.
Well, you mentioned marbles. One thing that's very important is don't lose your marbles.
Very important. Very important. I know exactly where they're at. And then I remind myself of where the different things are that I may have dispersed in different parts of the house. So that's what I start off with. And till I get back to you, I might be 3 days later. I don't know. I could do this. I could stay up all night and do this. Just depends.
That's true.
Right? I've already made that list of things that I want to go into the guest room, but I couldn't remember where everything was, so I have to take an inventory by walking around different rooms in my house. First room I came into was the kitchen, and I saw immediately one of the things on my list. You don't know where I'm going, do you? You have no idea.
No. Oh, marbles.
Yes. Yes. So here they are. Grabbing these marbles. Absolutely.
Bang. And she dents the...
Did I? No, I didn't. Oh, God. Now, of course, something will have to go up in that little hole, and these have to get clean. But one down. So far, I had to find my hurricane lamps. Grandma's hurricane lamps. These came from Lee's grandparents, and I love them. So I have them in several different totes. So with those totes being emptied, now I've got room to put all the things that I'm not going to be using back in the totes. Right? I know. I'm using my head all the time. Place and purpose, baby. So I know I'm going to be using these, which are roses from a recent wedding that I was in. Love them, and they're in pink and white. I'm looking for some perfume bottles. I'll get a couple of these. See, sweetie, there's a reason why I collect those. Now you know. I'll need a couple of those. I'm going to need those shoes. Yeah, of course I do. So we just got done doing the first run where I pick and grab all the things out of the room that I definitely want to use again, and everything that's left, or it's going to get washed and then packaged back up underneath beds. Taking care of business. And then comes the deep dive where I'm going to pull things out from under the beds.
Under the magical beds.
I love that. Under the magical beds where there's plenty of room for everything to live. For theme after theme after theme. Temporarily, honey, temporarily, this is where my things are going to land until I get them washed and discerned where they're going to go back into the room. Yeah. And if you like what you saw in the new room that we put together, I like this to be known as like the Victorian cottage room. And y'all know how much I love my childhood. I had a great childhood. Um, if I ask the right people, they'll tell me I had a great childhood. I can't remember back that far, but I do know there's certain things that I have seen in my older years that spark these wonderful memories. And in this guest room, I'm able to utilize everything that all my memories pretty much. So there it is in a nutshell. This isn't everybody's cup of tea. It certainly shouldn't be. If you ask my husband, he's like, this is so not right. But these are things that are Stephanie's memories all over this room. And if I come in here just so I don't have to listen to the news when Lee's out in the living room, I can put on or pick up a doll reader magazine, and I could put on a record, or I can watch something funny or Sherlock Holmes on TV. Come on. This is the room to do all that. A while ago, when I was doing crafting and I was trying to listen to my husband's words, place and purpose, I wanted to go through my craft stuff and utilize it. So one rainy day, I started putting things together. I had old children's books, and I made these banners. I guess you call them banners of Dick and Jane. Well, I don't think these are Dick and Jane. These might be Tad, Stacy, Ann, Susie. I'm not sure who they are, but it's the same premise. You know, Dick, Jane, Spot. And those were books that I grew up on. So I just made my own little memory banner. And of course, I kept my paintings, or their actual prints from early 80s, mid 80s. And I just adore them, of famous paintings, of course. And they all have to have, I wanted a cow. So bad. And then they came out with these miniature cows, and that's my cow and girl, and dogs and dollies and kitties and puppies, and there's a kitty cat and the puppy and the dolly. I mean, it's so me, right? We found these at Roscoe's Treasures one year after we moved in, and I can't believe he let me get these, but they're huge paintings.
I hate them, just so we're clear.
They're not his cup of tea.
No.
We also, one year Lee came home with this. I wasn't feeling good, and he went shopping without me and brought me this old sewing machine. So I just decorated it with a couple things. And since then, I've collected a couple notions, and this, actually, they match the room. That's all. Little things like that I've put together. Here's the little girl, full-length painting.
Just as bad as the boy one.
Now, I understand in 1800s and even earlier, if they're shown with a blue flower, that could have been a forget-me-not, and it could be a painting of a past child, like a child that passed away. So that's something to keep in mind, that her basket's empty. And but I'm pretty sure when these paintings were done, these were early artists. They weren't professional by any means. But I love them so much. I love folk art. You know that. And then I found this painting back here. Probably if I were to go back in time, this is what I would look like. In my mind's eye, that's me. And little perfume bottles that we've collected. The doily that sparks beautiful, wonderful memories. The whole way down to a couple of my favorite books. When the blind's up, all the birds that come out to the bird feeder right behind us. Then I have this other banner, which is one that I've done a while ago, and that was just old cardstock, probably from the 50s. But, oh, I also have some golden books that I've collected. Some of them may have been mine, but they had to go out. And all my dog statues, of course. Some things we got as souvenirs. I have some super special quilts that we've collected, and I had a very good friend of ours, Tanya, make this one for me. It's got my favorite colors in it. And the one on the bed. Of course, you know, you wouldn't have a Steph-N-Lee room without quilts, flowers, and, oh, yeah, so this little sweetheart, honey, I haven't named her yet, but this little sweetheart came with her eyes full of lime and mineral deposits.
Yeah, let's be clear. So this doll actually had zombie white eyes.
Yeah, but I watch a show, reruns of a show called The Repair Shop. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard of The Repair Shop. Anyway, in one of the episodes, they used vinegar to clean the glass eyes, which these are glass eyes. And and all my collected doll magazines were a gift from our dear friend Dee. And we found these while antiquing before, but the doll and the stroller came from friends of ours, Tim and Tanya. I've got things in this room that shouldn't surprise you. All the Grimm's fairy tale collection, love it. Everything I said, all the Shirley Temple doll also came from Roscoe's. My little velveteen rabbit came from Roscoe's. Then I got these roses recently, actually. Oh, I made this as a necklace to one of my dresses. But I got my roses from a wedding of our dear friends John and Lacey. So I had to hang those as well. Well, Beatrice Potter, if it wasn't a part of your childhood, it should have been. And so I found this little postcard and framed it in a found frame. And the sweet little chalkware, he's a mess. He's all beat up, actually, exposed chalkware. But doesn't matter. I love him. I love him more because he's beat up. The collection of paper dolls that Lee and I found, he's been such an indulgent, loving husband until he's not. But I love my paper dolls when I was a child. And I have so many things around the room that represent these childhood memories, toys, games, books, and sights. I wish I could recreate the smells from Grandma's house, but I don't have all that yet. But I'm not a very good cook. But I started the whole process out with this notebook. And it was just me sitting down and saying, what's in my head? And that's how I entitled it. And I just started throwing up everything that was kind of go into this room. And then I went looking at everywhere. Tops of closets, under the beds, back in the back room, Christmas boxes. I couldn't remember where half of this stuff got put while I was decorating before, because I just focus on how I was decorating before. So this room went from super masculine, I felt, I wanted to do a masculine room, and I thought I pulled it off pretty good. And then just my feminine side had to come out with the spring and the fertility gods. And here she is. Something else, of course, that we look for every time we're out are my favorite magazines. Well, I'm not paying $12 for a magazine at the grocery store. What? What they think they can get away with it. It's not a hardback book that you can keep forever, even though I have found these and kept them forever. But as we find these magazines, I collect them, and this is the era. Like, I think this one's from either the 80s. Yep, 1988. That's my era. That's when I was setting up housekeeping. I had my first child. And that was my mindset. It was right there in that magazine. And then from that point on, this happened. I wanted to have some me time and have some fancy magazine. And every year I would get a subscription to these magazines. And that's helped develop who I evolved into. Part of it. Not all of it. Most of it. A lot of it.
So that's going to do it for today's video.
You okay?
I only had to be in the very little last part of it.
I don't think he likes this room.
Not my taste. None of it.
That means I don't get bugged a whole lot.
No, yeah, just none of it.
I hope our guests enjoy this room. I hope it does for them what it does for me and take them back to their childhood.
I don't even like the chandelier in this room. I've been trying and pushing for a ceiling fan, and I keep getting, no. It's not Victorian enough.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. No, the ceiling's too low.
The ceiling is kind of low in here. Probably only...
And the bed's too high.
Maybe an 8-foot ceiling.
And the bed's too high. Because you built this bed so
yes, I did.
My totes would fit underneath it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we want to thank you for watching. Don't know how you did it. And, no, I'm kidding. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let us know. Because Stephanie would love to redecorate the whole house every other week. And until next time, have a Steph-N-Lee day.